Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. So today we are getting another one of the no item runs done for Extreme Super Battle Road. This is the Super STR versus Extreme Physical. This one is an interesting one because I would put it on the much easier end of the scale, but it is based a lot on RNG. So if you get good RNG, this could easily be like the easiest stage, or definitely up there, because like Extreme Physical, I think if you have the new LR Bootanks and can run his full team, then Extreme Physical is super easy. And then Extreme STR, if you have the whole team of like debuffers, that can be very easy as well. But as you can see here from the start of this turn, RNG plays quite a big part, because units like STR UI Goku, if he doesn't dodge, he takes like 50k from normal attacks. And then STR Whis is the other one of our sort of big defensive units. Both units have a 70% chance to dodge. Obviously UI Goku's wears out at some point and becomes 50%, but most of the time the fights don't last long enough in Super Battle Road for that to actually fully expire. So, but yeah, here we haven't started off with our rotations properly set up, so I have to obviously go through the process of trying to do that now. I am using the STR support Kabe as the leader, because he has the 120% across the board and then 4 key. And then we are using a friend Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, who is Rainbow. I think he has some skill orbs. Obviously he gives all the Super STR types a 120 boost, and then of course Vegeta family is his main leader skill. So he is giving a buff to the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, who is of course one of our main defensive units. He takes basically no damage at all from normal attacks. Super attacks without the support Kabe on the rotation still actually do between like 25 and 30k, which obviously for taking a super on Extreme Super Battle Road is still really good. But bear in mind, of course, when you're trying to do a no items run, if you get down to being on quite low health and then you get into one of those 5-person fights, you can very easily get super attacked into oblivion. In fact, I'm sure I have it recorded still. I don't know if it's this run, but there's a run that I had where I got to the final fight. I don't think I've ever seen this on Super Battle Road before, but I got to the final fight and it was against Bojack and his crew, and all 4 of his crew super attacked me in slot 1 before I could attack. So 4 super attacks before I even got to do anything. So even with Vegeta in the front slot, he was taking 30k from each of those supers. So I basically took 120k damage at the start of the turn. Yeah, I'm not even sure. I don't think that might have made it into this one, because I'm pretty sure I got to the last fight on fairly low health. So even though we didn't die to those 4 supers, we were pretty close to death. So I don't think we survived that turn. But anyway, we've made very short work of the first fight here. We don't even have our rotations properly set up yet. But yeah, very straightforward. I'm actually not sure. I don't know why I didn't use the active skill there with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I think it's because I am stalling a little bit to try and get my rotations set up properly. Because obviously it's very important in these no item runs a lot of the time to get your rotations established as quickly as possible. And then there's usually rotations that you want to be going into a new fight with. So fortunately for this team, because Whis can be such a god when it comes to dodging all the attacks if you get the right RNG, it doesn't really matter too much which rotation we go into the next fight with. But ideally you want it to be the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta one, because then you don't have to rely on the RNG as much, because he will just tank everything. But yeah, of course we got a rotation of Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and then UI Goku. So the strat for this rotation is a little bit counterintuitive to maximizing UI Goku, because obviously what you would normally want to do is put him in slot 1, hope that he dodges a bunch of the attacks that are coming his way, and then that powers him up ready for him to attack. But obviously, again, it's a lot safer to not completely rely on RNG. So because both of them have over in a flash, you put Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta in slot 1, he soaks up the majority of the hits, has that 50% chance to get a stun off on somebody, and then UI Goku comes in slot 2 to deal a little bit of damage. So all it really means is that on turn 1, UI Goku's not really getting any boost before he attacks, but then obviously he can still then dodge attacks in that second slot, and then of course the next time the rotation comes around, he does still have that boost. So this way takes a little bit longer to build him up, but it does work pretty well. And then the other rotation, we're running Whis with the LR, Goku and Vegeta, of course, from the Celebration banners. They both have shocking speed. That's the main reason for running them together, because obviously we want Whis to be on the opposite rotation, but we do want him to super attack because he seals and lowers attack. So putting him with someone with shocking speed is really beneficial. And then of course the Goku and Vegeta is just an exceptional unit anyway. They have 30% damage reduction before transforming, so depending on who's attacking them in their slot, you can get Whis to seal and attack lower the person who's attacking them the most, and then they'll tank those hits even better than before. And then of course you'll see throughout this run, transforming with them once you get to turn 4 and drop below 77% HP is a huge boon to this team, because it's a free heal basically. It heals you, I think it's a 50% heal, so even if you drop down to like 30% HP and then you transform with them, it jumps you straight back up to like 80%, which is incredibly good. So you will see, of course, we use that. I think we didn't use it in the first one, but I'm sure we end up using it in almost every single other one. So Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, unfortunately not coming through with the stun on Frieza, but you know, he's taking double-digit damage. And then UI Goku, even not built up, like mine's only 55%, and we're still hitting a 2.2 million attack stat, and considering he's under double 120 leads and not like a proper category leader or anything, that's still pretty good. So Kabe, I think, is like the weak link on the team. Like you can see he's taking 35k damage. He obviously does help because he buffs everybody 50%, enabling them to hit a lot harder, tank a little bit better. And it does help the rotations where, like Whis, because Whis only has shocking speed with the LR, he is getting 1 extra key from Kabe's leader skill, but he still needs 3 key to super. And there can be some awkward rotations where you can literally only pick up like 1 or 2 orbs. So at least when Kabe's on the rotation, everybody's like auto-supering. But you can see Whis, just like UI Goku, if he doesn't get a dodge off, he takes quite a lot of damage. So this is what I'm saying about how RNG can make this one of the easiest runs, or it can make it really annoying, because I've had attempts on this where literally UI Goku and Whis in the first 2 turns of the first fight just did not dodge a single attack, and so I just died. So like I say, this one can be very much reliant on RNG, but there are a lot of strategies you can use to sort of counteract that. So B-Pan plays a big role in that strategy, because she does have a chance to stun, which you saw went off just there on her super, but she heals you based on the damage that she does. So the fact that she additional supered was pretty massive as well for us, because that's put us back up to being at about 70% HP. So, but yeah, here we are going to fire off the active skill on Zarbon. Even though he's stunned, I think this is a good opportunity to try and take him out here. Because obviously the active skill from Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is another good reason to bring him, because the 120 sub lead is obviously perfectly fine. The active skill is just like a turn 4 free super attack before you have to actually do anything. So like Zarbon is now just gone and we haven't even attacked yet. So the way this turn would work ideally is that Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta stuns Frieza, which I kind of had to bank on because we couldn't pick up a lot of orbs for Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, but he does come through with the stun. Because Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is actually very good. You can see throughout this run, as long as he gets his 18 key super, he takes barely any damage from normal attacks. And he does have the possibility to counter a super if it comes his way, which I don't think one does during this run. But yeah, here's our perfect opportunity to heal ourselves back up to full by transforming into Super Vegito. Frieza is stunned, so he can't do anything to us this turn anyway. So this is going to put us straight back up to full health. And we should be able to finish off Frieza this turn, because obviously Vegito is very hard hitting in the first place, and we have Kabe on the rotation. But one thing to bear in mind, if you are going to like recreate this run, if you can make this exact team, or if you're at least, you know, can recreate some of the rotations, when you transform into Super Vegito, he does lose shocking speed, which means Whis will not have any key links. So I made the mistake in one of the runs I was recording. I don't think it was this one, because I think we ended up losing that one anyway. But I picked up, I think it was like 3 key with Whis that I needed to super, and then transformed Vegito, and then realised that Whis was now 2 key short of a super attack. So that is something that you must bear in mind. But here, we've managed to play this very well. We've got the Dokkan attack literally good to go as we go into fight number 3, which is really what you want. On a no items run, you want to be able to maximize the Dokkan attack to finish fights as quickly as possible. Sometimes it's needed because your team just doesn't have a way to heal without items, which obviously this team we do kind of get around. But the main thing is to be able to clear the third fight as quickly as possible. So this is an instance where, because we've gone into the fight with this rotation, I don't want to put Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta in slot 1, because he can't do a lot of damage with his Dokkan attack. So fortunately, UI Goku dodges the super. Doesn't dodge the normal, but at least we get 1 dodge off to build up our passive a little bit. And it was the super attack that he dodged, because that would have been like 220k damage or something stupid like that. So get off the Dokkan attack, 1.8. It is the only problem with units that do have a build up. Like, this team doesn't really have a unit that on turn 1 is perfect for doing the Dokkan attack. Because if we were like a couple of turns in and UI Goku had dodged a few times, or we transformed like Goku and Vegeta into Super Vegito, then, you know, the Dokkan attack would probably just be a finisher to that fight. But it is good to get it straight away, because we deal a nice little bit of damage to everybody. Unfortunately, Vegeta doesn't stun, but the combo of B-Pan healing from her super and then the heal that we're going to get from the Dokkan attack obviously means we just go into the next turn on full HP. So, doing pretty well so far. I think this, if I remember rightly, I think this is a turn where the RNG kind of goes sour a little bit, because we can't get a super attack with Whis, so we can't seal or attack low at anyone. Going to target this guy on the end, just try and get rid of him. And maybe it isn't this time. Oh, wait, yeah, is this it? Okay, yeah, Whis does dodge the super. I swear, I don't know if it's even in this run. That's the problem with trying to record, like, a bunch of attempts, and then you get the winning one, and then I didn't record the commentary right afterwards. But I know there was one run I did where, I think it was after the Dokkan attack, or maybe after the Vegito fusion, so it could still be in this run, where we basically heal up to full, and then on the next turn, Whis doesn't dodge a super attack, and we immediately take, like, 240k damage. So yeah, RNG definitely plays a role, but one of the reasons that this can be so easy is we do have a lot of survivability. Because, like Super Int, for example, with God Goku, you can roll the dice with his RNG chance to dodge. But if he doesn't dodge a bunch of attacks and you end up taking a load of damage, that team doesn't have as like solid ways to heal yourself as this one does. Because B-Pan and then the fusion from Super Vegito are both incredibly useful, especially if B-Pan additional super attacks, which we've already seen happen in this run at least once. So that can work out really well. And of course, I feel like I mention it all the time we use him in a video, but Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta is like the Super Battle Road MVP. Like, any stage where you can run this Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, you should. So obviously with, for Global, the next set of Super Battle Road stages that we'll get, but before we get any of the extreme category stages that just came out on JP, we should get the Goku and Vegeta family stages. So obviously this Vegeta is going to be an MVP yet again for the Vegeta family stage, because it's not just the fact that he tanks so incredibly well, but the fact that he has a 50% chance to stun. And there you go, this is where things started to go a little bit bad for us, because Kabe didn't get a ton of orbs with him, and being only 55%, yeah, he took like 70k from those normal attacks. It's the only thing that can mess up the runs a little bit. When you have one unit that is quite weak defensively, but you want to keep them off rotation, if there's a whole bunch of attacks stacked up in the final slot, then you are potentially going to take a ton of damage. So I could have broken the rotation, but I really don't want to float off Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta or UI Goku. But as you can see, we survived. We go straight into the next turn, fuse into Super Vegito, so we pretty much heal back to full anyway. And then by using B-Pan's active skill, Super Vegito is going to hit like an absolute truck. You can see here the key issue after the transformation, so we can't super attack with Whis. So I still targeted Android 13 on the off chance that Whis gets an additional, because my Whis does have 3 dupes, I think. And because he lowers attack, I did give him a pretty decent amount of additional. And then, yeah, it manages to come in clutch for us. I'm pretty sure I gave him the full 15 additional. So his additional super takes out 13, which means Vegito can come in and get a nice big hit on this final guy. My Goku and Vegeta / Vegito are only 55%. So, I mean, you can see they're very impressive in this run. But if the enemy's not attack lowered from normal attacks, they are still taking somewhere between 20 and 30k damage, which is still not bad for Extreme Super Battle Road. But obviously, imagine if they were Rainbow, that damage is going to be a whole lot less. As well as the fact that they do deal pretty reasonable damage as well. So we got Cell and the Cell Juniors for the last fight. This can always be a little bit scary because there's so many of them. I feel like the Cell Juniors hit harder than some of the other like henchmen in the 5 enemy fights, but it's always worrisome when you get a 5 enemy fight because you can get multiple super attacks in one turn. So speaking of which, here's one straight away, but Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta gets the level 3 dodge, which I think I gave him way back when I first pulled him, before I really understood the game and really got super into level 3 dodge. I used to always give tanks dodge, even if they were like really, really good tanks like Vegeta, just because the way I was thinking was, you're always going to put a tank in front of the most attacks. So it makes sense for them to get the ability to dodge. And obviously, in Extreme Super Battle Road, like I said, even though Vegeta tanks incredibly well, super attacks would have still done about 30k to him. So that level 3 dodge saved us from losing about 30k HP, which I will absolutely take in this instance here. So yeah, we start off okay. We didn't get the stun off, unfortunately, but one of the Cell Juniors is almost gone. So this is what I was talking about sometimes you need to break rotation. Like, I realise here very much that if I leave Kabe in that final slot, he is just going to get absolutely destroyed. So we get Whis to seal and attack lower Cell, and then Kabe, I kind of at this point realise he's probably not going to be able to finish off that Cell Junior because, you know, he's not super strong even with a few orbs collected. So I just target one of the other Cell Juniors, do a little bit of damage to them, and then Goku and Vegeta can come in and finish off the one that has already been damaged. It's definitely a good idea to focus down the enemies as quickly as possible in these multiple person fights, because obviously it's just one less enemy that could super attack you next turn. So as you can see from that damage, Kabe definitely wouldn't have finished him off. So Goku and Vegeta come in here to finish the job with their 18 key super. And then we get the additional, which is awesome because, like I said, they're only 55% for me. So as an STR unit, they get free level 5 crit. But they do have a chance to additional built into their passive. And then I think I gave them like a level 2 additional skill orb that I had as well. Because obviously, only being 55%, their gold slot is not available. Because Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road rewards, we did get some awesome gold skill orbs that have the dual effects. So those are definitely one of the top prizes. Although, of course, the Easy A Gohan is also way up there. We saw him in action in yesterday's Super Physical No Items video. I'm still working on getting him to level 10 links, and then I will showcase him because obviously we saw him in that Super Battle Road run yesterday. But I want to try him out on a proper team rather than just Super Physical. But of course, with link leveling, he's got like 1 or 2 links that have been at level 9 for I don't even know how long at this point. So, but yeah, here we go. Popping off with UI Goku coming in with the 18 key super. Do some nice big damage to the Cell Junior. Not quite enough to finish him off. And then I did retarget with Pan in case we could get a stun. I think, yeah, I targeted one of the Cell Juniors that would have been attacking her. just because she does have a chance to mitigate damage, but when it doesn't go off, she can actually take a fair bit of damage, and so that makes her healing, it kind of almost like cancels it out. Like, there's no point healing like 50k off of a super with her when she then gets hit for like 70k afterwards. But it does balance out pretty well. I think she defends pretty well throughout most of this run. I mean, obviously we clear the run, so she definitely contributed quite nicely. And then, yeah, this is the other advantage of Vegeta's active skill. We get to finish off one of the Cell Juniors before the turn even starts. So that's one less enemy, again, that has the potential to super attack us and ruin our day a little bit. So Kabe, I decided to put him in the middle here because the final slot is being attacked by two different people, whereas the middle slot is only being attacked by Cell. So if I put him in the middle and target Cell with Whis for another attack lowering, that just means that Kabe is only taking attacks from Cell, who's been attack lowered a couple of times now. So that will hopefully optimize his defense, because again, I've said it in a lot of these runs so far, even the no item ones, the 50% support units can be really beneficial to the team, but if you only have them at 55%, if you get to a turn where you can only pick up like even 4 or 5 orbs, which is more than enough for them to get a super attack, but it's not enough to give them decent defense. Like you saw that turn in Fight 3 where we took like 70k 4 times in a row from normal attacks. Like if one of them had been a super, that would have been that run over. So you do have to be very careful when using the 50% support units. But here we've definitely got them on the ropes. I can feel that this is the winning run when we got to this turn, because we took out Cell. We've got 2 Cell Juniors left. We're doing the fusion with Goku and Vegeta here, so we are going to get a full heal. And yeah, we got Super Saiyan 3 in slot 1, so he's going to tank that first hit. I don't know if I target him for the seal. No, we can see with the Vegito fusion that Cell Junior at the end is going to super attack. And so obviously if he super attacks Super Vegito, he would take a lot of damage. So I target him with Super Saiyan 3 for the stun. And then of course, just in case the stun doesn't go off, I just continue to target him with everybody else on the rotation, because we really don't want him to be super attacking Vegito at the end. And that was obviously the right choice, because unfortunately Vegeta did not come through with the stun. So UI Goku comes in, decent attack stat on him. I think unfortunately he doesn't quite take him out, so Super Vegito has to come in and finish the job. But at the end of the day, we just wanted him gone so that he couldn't super attack Vegito at the end. So it's pretty much a lock at this point, especially now when he decides to only attack in the final slot. Now he is super attacking, but of course Whis seals as well as lowering attack, so now we don't have to worry about that. He's sealed up. And then we can grab some orbs with you, some orbs with you. I mean, we're on full HP at this point. So, pretty clear at this point that we were going to be getting the dub here. So, we attack lower and seal with Whis. Kabe comes in. Not going to do a huge amount of damage, unfortunately. And then B-Pan. Kind of a turn where she's not really useful, because we're on full health. She doesn't get the stun, sadly. And I don't think her damage mitigation went off, because even though he was attack lowered, he still did close to 50k. But I mean, if you look at our health, we're still just under 400k. And looking at this rotation, there is no way he survives this turn. So Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta obviously not going to quite get off the finishing blow, I thought. But then he comes in with a crit, proves me wrong. Didn't get the stun again, but obviously we don't need that this time around, because we take him out. So you can see there we got some very spotty RNG throughout the run. You could definitely get a much smoother run if you get like consistent stuns with Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, who did let us down a little bit in this run in terms of stunning. Tanking, obviously he's a god, that's why he's on the team. And then yeah, there was quite a few instances where we saw UI and Whis not dodging, but there you go. If you get the right RNG, it's not that difficult, and even with a little bit of wonky RNG, the team has so much survivability from the Fusion and B-Pan that you can get through with no items. So there you go. That is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the link to my Discord in the description below. Feel free to join in the fun there. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.